her
right.
partner, and consequently on mine, because she's introduced me to all of your wonderful teachings.
All right.
So-
But they are all your teachings as well. We simply remind you of what you have forgotten.
Thank you for that. My question is, I'm being drawn to possibly move to another state.
Where?
Colorado.
Oh, all right. Why?
The environment, the air environment.
This is
here.
what excites you?
It does excite me.
All right. So how come you're not there already?
Well, I have commitments here that actually what I'm doing now is going to enable me to move there
Oh, all right. If you say so. When?
within a year and a half.
1 year and 1.5.
Yes.
Would you prefer to move sooner?
I would.
Then move sooner.
Okay.
What are the ideas that you believe are holding you back from acting on your highest joy?
Well, I have started teaching something at the church that I belong to, Unity.
Yes.
And it is definitely.
Do they have no counterpart of that in Colorado?
Well, I don't. It's new. I have created it. So,
Yes. So you can't create it in Colorado?
I can, but I am.
Then that's not an obstacle, is it?
No, I'm getting a base here. I'm starting it here, and
A
so
base.
yeah, because it's new, and so
Yes.
taking it to another Unity, taking it around like you do. I mean, really,
Yes.
honestly.
Well,
what,
why not
traveling
start
around?
in Colorado if that's where you prefer to be? Why are you forming a base in some place you don't prefer?
Well, I've already began it, so I
So
can't.
what?
Well, I have people counting on me. I have
In what
obligations,
way?
commitments, because I'm teaching, so
Yes.
I can't just step out. It's about loyalty and dedication.
Can you do both?
I might. Yeah,
might?
that is an option. Yes,
It is.
absolutely, it is.
Then if that's an option, why aren't you doing both?
Well, thank you.
Did I have to remind you of that?
Sometimes we need help. Yes.
Yes, I know.
Thank you.
So, what we are saying is, when we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement, act on it to the best of your ability.
Right. Don't
Whatever
hold
it is you
back.
have set up for yourself, make sure you understand that you may have set up something that you actually can take advantage of, but are not.
Okay.
So examine all the things you actually do have available to you when you talk about your excitement and act on it to the best of your ability. You've just revealed to yourself and to everyone in the room with you and to us that you actually do have the ability to be in Colorado and be where you are by going back and forth doing both simultaneously. So why not do at least that version until you establish enough of a base in Colorado for you to then make whatever decisions you wish to make?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
You don't have to. We're not telling you to.
It's,
But we're examining with you whether or not you believe that you are capable of doing that and whether that might be more representative of your excitement than what you're choosing to do.
I am completely and totally, absolutely capable. Yes.
All right, then you can start acting on that. Now, you do remember the entire formula of acting on your excitement, yes?
Yes.
Because we know many of you forget the last half of the formula. Oh, yes, act on my excitement. Oh, yes, 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 yes. How come this didn't happen? I was acting on my excitement. How come that didn't come to fruition? I was acting on my excitement. What went wrong? What went wrong, so to speak, is that you forgot the second half of the formula of acting on your excitement. Act on your highest excitement every moment that you possibly can to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Then act on the next most exciting thing, taking it as far as you can to the best of your ability. And you act on your highest excitement every moment that you can with absolutely zero assumption, expectation, or insistence on what the outcome should be. That's the formula. Because you never know exactly why you're being attracted by the thing that excites you. It may not be for the purpose of that particular presentation coming to fruition.
Right.
It may have just been to get you in a place you need to be so that what actually needs to happen can more easily happen. So never assume you know where your excitement will lead you, because the physical mind does not have the ability to know how something is actually going to happen. Only the higher mind knows how something is going to happen. The physical mind is only designed to know what is happening right now. What is it experiencing right now? And that's why it's so important to stay in the present. Because if you don't stay in the present, your physical mind is not being given the opportunity to function as it was designed to. So when you allow the higher mind to show you what needs to manifest to be representative of the state of excitement that you are in, then you will be allowing your life to unfold in the most synchronous way possible, and you will see that the manifestations that come, even if they are not necessarily what you thought they ought to be, will actually serve you as stepping stones toward greater and greater and greater expressions of your joy and excitement. Do you understand this formula? It's just physics.
Yes, and it's part of the game of chess.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Does this help you?
Oh, it helped me, and thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Okay.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I've tried for weeks to try to
You have what? You've tried for weeks to try?
to formulate my question
Yes.
in a lighthearted way, or because the nature of my question is, I
Is
guess
what?
for me, it's negative.
You are giving it a negative connotation then. Why?
Mainly because I feel it.
So,
It's,
just because you feel something doesn't mean that you can't use the feeling to get in touch with the belief that's generating the feeling. You understand that you can't have a feeling about something unless you already believe something to be true? Did you know that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, then if you know that, then the idea of feeling something a certain way gives you an opportunity to recognize that the feeling is telling you that you have a belief that is generating that particular feeling. Therefore, if you have a feeling you don't prefer, don't hide it. By all means, own it, acknowledge it, accept it as yours, and at the same time use it and trace it back to what you would have to believe to be true about your relationship to something in life in order for the belief to generate that particular kind of feeling that you don't prefer. And just because you don't prefer a particular state of being doesn't mean you have to give it a negative connotation. You can simply objectively observe that it simply isn't representative of your vibrational preference without invalidating it. Make sense?
Yes.
But,
Well, let me just get to the heart of the question.
oh please,
Is there such a thing as negative spirits attaching themselves to somebody?
no. There is, however, the effect as if there is. There is, however, the experience as if there is. But mechanically speaking, that's not possible. What's actually happening with all those kinds of ideas, things you call negative being attachment, or what you call possession, or all of those concepts, this is actually what's mechanically happening. You, for whatever reason, are buying into a belief system that allows your energy frequency to match the energy vibration of beings such as you have described, and thus then you are creating out of your own energy a mirroring of their energy and a mirroring of the behavior they would have were they in your position. But you can at any time change your frequency and make yourself invisible to that reality
How do I do that?
by acting on your highest joy, by having belief systems that you know are beliefs you prefer instead of holding on to beliefs you don't prefer. Because you see, you are creating your physical reality experience with what you believe to be true, what you define as most likely, most probable, most true. Whatever belief you buy into will be the reality you experience. But you can change that. If you know you can change your beliefs, you can also examine what beliefs you would prefer to have and know that when you decide that there's a belief you would prefer as opposed to the other one, that that belief will also be just as true and give you the same kind of experiences that are relevant to that belief as the other belief gave you. Because it's up to you to decide what beliefs are true for you at any given moment, and that determines the reality you experience. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Just want to check in to make sure you're following along.
Yes.
All right. So the idea is to ask yourself, if I am having what you would typically call a negative experience, a negative feeling, you understand that that means you're holding on to a negative belief, a belief that, negatively speaking, is out of alignment with your true vibration, your preferred self. That's really, in a sense, all a negative belief is. It's mechanically segregative, separative, disconnective. That's all we mean by negative. It's not a value judgment. It's a mechanical description of the energy. A positive belief is integrative. You understand? Expanding in a unifying way. A negative belief is segregative, disconnecting in a discordant way. These are just the mechanical descriptions. So if you're having this negative so-called experience, it just means you're holding on to a belief that's out of alignment with your true vibration, which is always going to be a vibration of unconditional love and joy. That's your natural state. The idea, therefore, is when you have these kinds of emotional experiences that you don't prefer, to ask, what would I have to believe is true about myself in relation to this situation, that situation, or life in general, or this person, or what have you? What would I have to believe is true in order to feel what I'm feeling? And then you can begin to explore what that definition would have to be. But you have to be willing to explore it, not afraid to explore it. I guarantee you that if you explore those things, none of those negative ideas about yourself will actually ever truly be discovered to be true. They will always be false. Because you are created in the image of creation. You are unconditionally supported in unconditional existence forever. The very fact that you exist proves that to you, because if you exist, all that is, and creation must have known you had to exist, or it wouldn't be all that it could be. So you're important to creation, or you wouldn't exist, because creation doesn't make mistakes. Did you hear that?
Yes, and I do know that. And I have immersed myself in that reality and just,
But
it
yes.
doesn't, like, I need to be there like 24/7, and I
Well, then
have,
be there 24/7.
I have been.
And so, in the times when you are not, why do you choose not to be? And don't say you don't choose it, because you do.
It's usually in my dream
Yes.
state,
Yes.
which is where I am woken up and I
Yes.
perceive
Yes.
there's somebody there.
That's all right. That happens to a lot of you. It's a common thing. But again, I understand that you may feel that fears are triggered, but understand the only thing that you're actually feeling are your own fears, your own negative belief, being amplified by being in the presence of other dimensional beings. See, this is one of the reasons, in a sense, why we simply don't land en masse on your planet. We exist. We exist in a different vibrational frequency that is many times higher than the frequency in which you operate normally. So the idea is that if we were to suddenly present ourselves at full frequency to you, it would actually force all the things that you are forcing down to the surface. You would break all the compartments in your consciousness, and all those ideas, all those fears would come flooding in all at once, and you would go into psychosis. So we keep our distance until such time as you strengthen yourself and bolster yourself with your own positive beliefs, so that you become more equal to us, and thus then will not experience such a shock in the presence of a very different frequency. But from time to time, because of your own agreements, even though you may not remember them, you will come in contact with other beings from other dimensions that you have made agreements to do certain things with. And in those moments, because you're so used to the idea of the vibration of physical reality and the compartmentalization of consciousness that goes along with it, in those moments, all those walls, all those barriers may break down, and you may be forced to face some of the fears you may not be ready to integrate. But it's all right, because if that's happening to you, it does mean you actually are ready. It's just that you may not believe you are consciously. If you can get in touch with the idea that you're consciously ready to face those fears and integrate them within yourself into a higher version of your excitement, then you will begin to welcome those experiences. And in welcoming those experiences, you will ensure that no matter, regardless of what anyone else's intention toward you may be in those or any experiences, you will ensure that the only effect those experiences will have in your life will be a positive one by defining it as a positive experience for yourself, no matter what anyone else's intention may be. Do you understand how this works? You see, this is what we were first describing and why you asked the question if negative spirits can attach themselves to you. Because the idea is that everyone is their own energy. And the only way you can experience anything else is by agreeing to match that frequency. If you no longer agree to match the frequency of fear, then you will no longer experience the effects of fear in your life. Even if someone else actually has a negative intention toward you, you will become invisible to that frequency. You'll become transparent to that frequency by changing your frequency to something that is more representative of the reality you prefer. And therefore, you will no longer feel any effects of that negative nature because you simply will not be agreeing to mirror or match those vibrations. Even though you may still be capable of neutrally observing them, it doesn't mean you have to take that energy on if you simply don't agree that that's your preferred reality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, and I have to do a lot of practicing.
Well, if you say so. You could change in the blink of an eye. It's up to you. The fact that you say you have to do a lot of practicing is a belief.
True.
Because remember, every change is actually instantaneous and total. But you can create the illusion that change is small and slow. But every single time you change anything, you're actually changing everything. It's just that you're changing everything to look like such a similar version of the last thing that you barely think anything has changed, when in fact the entire universe has changed. So when you begin to see yourself and change in a different way and know that you are literally a completely different person every single time you change anything, then you can decide to define who you are as that person, and whatever definition you decide is true for you will be the way you experience your reality. Even if you can still observe others doing something you don't prefer, doesn't mean that they have to have any effect on you whatsoever if you don't choose to be affected. Make sense?
Okay, yes.
Does this help you?
It does.
And?
It validates what I had thought of initially.
But didn't quite believe in? Yes?
I guess just not the part of where
Yes?
I just,
What part? Come. What part?
just being, just rejecting it, because
It's not about rejection.
not rejecting, but knowing and being my
Yes.
highest self all the
Yes.
time.
Will allow you to experience anything and everything in your life in the most positive way possible. So why would you care what happens if you know that the only effect it's going to have on your life is a positive one? You see? You get to the point where, and I don't mean this in a negative way, you don't care what happens. It doesn't matter what happens, because you know that anything that happens and everything that happens will only have a positive effect in your life. Why? Because that's what you choose. Period. There is no one to contradict you. No one in existence can contradict what you say is true for you.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's the power you have of creation. Understand, and again, I don't mean this in a negative way, although we understand it sounds a little funny in your language. The greatest gift you have all been given is that life is fundamentally meaningless. It doesn't have built-in automatic meaning. You were created, you were designed to give meaning to life. So the meaning you give it is the effect you get from it. Without you putting any kind of meaning into it, there will be absolutely no automatic meaning at all. It just remains a neutral prop, a neutral experience, a neutral environment. But the second, the instant, you give it a meaning, consciously or unconsciously, positive or negative, that's exactly what gets reflected, because it's just a mirror. It's a neutral mirror. So if you're looking at a mirror and you see your reflection, and you look at your face in the mirror and you see that you're frowning or you're sad or afraid, you know you don't go over to the mirror and try to change the reflection in the mirror to a smile. It doesn't work that way. There's nothing there. all the light is bouncing back to you. But you know that if you decide to smile no matter what, the reflection has no choice but to smile back. It doesn't have a mind of its own.
Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Then I will leave you with this. Pleasant dreams. And thank you for being bold enough to share your experience.